Dame Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about the work that you've been doing today?
Yes, my charity, Dame Kelly's Legacy Trust, and Create Your Legacy workshop is for the LFE boys who are part of this kind of whole football setup where we believe that we should give the chance for these young people to look at what life might be like if they don't really achieve their own dreams or aspirations in the world of football. As we know in sport, your journey can be cut short quite quickly, whether that be injuries, whether you just don't get kind of selected for the team, manager doesn't put you in. And so what they've got here today is a careers fair, which is basically showing them all the different jobs, roles, placements that they could think about in the future and to get into their mind now. Because first and foremost, you want them to be focused on being the best they can be as a football player and hoping that their dream comes true going into the Premiership. But you almost got to make sure alongside that is that they're open to the fact that if it doesn't happen, what is there out there for me?
For you yourself, you almost came at it the other way around in terms of the military career that you had prior to being, recognised as a top international class athlete.
Yeah, I suppose my journey was slightly different because I knew from the age of 14 what I wanted to be. That was both in sport, I wanted to be Olympic champion, and in my career I wanted to be in the Army as a physical training instructor. So I already had something that I was going to attach myself to. Being in the military certainly helped with my development as an athlete because obviously there's the discipline, the structured environment, getting up on time, doing all of those things alongside the sport that I came back into about 4 years after joining the Army. And doing them side by side definitely helped me sort of now, I suppose. But I think the world of sport's changed slightly anyway. Most people think that it's kind of a full-time life ahead. They kind of look at that when they get into sport. They think that is all that's going to happen. And unfortunately, for a lot of young people, it just won't. You won't reach your full potential. You won't hit the big time. And so I think it's now right that we give the education to these kids to understand what it is that they need to do to look for their futures if it doesn't go well for them.
There are highs and lows associated obviously with any sport.
Yeah.
You've experienced some. Gareth relayed some of his own personal experience to the lads before. How important is it to have people like yourself speaking to youngsters?
I think it's really important. My charity, we have retiring and retired sports people at the heart of our charity. These are all people that have achieved highly in sport that actually are great role models and could be great mentors for young people because we've all been on a journey. We all started off somewhere just with an ambition or a dream, and because of sport it's made us who we are. You learn how to pick yourself up when you've not achieved what you wanted to achieve. You get injured, you've got to fight back to kind of get back to the top, and the journey that you go through makes you, I think, a better person. And if you can get someone like that speaking to other youngsters who then look up to you and think, yeah, okay, I can relate to that, or I can see that I've got to work hard, I've got to focus, or whatever it is, then I think that's a huge benefit. And so that's what we do as part of the charity, is really to inspire kids through a journey, and sport is that journey. And
we're talking, going back to the role models, a number of the guys were here today from the Legacy Trust interacting with the footballers. How do you feel that went?
Yeah, brilliant. A lot of what we try to do across the charity is first, the sports people are trying to transition into new careers themselves. So they finish their sports, they then kind of might feel like they've lost their identity or really don't know what's out there for them. And a lot of sports people like myself like to give back to younger people. So they're mainly qualified mentors now who go in and work with all of our programmes. And I think those young boys would have got a lot of knowledge and hopefully a lot of, I suppose, a sense of, I can be someone from these other athletes. We stand there, we tell them our story, and our story is where we were before we started and what it is we had to do to get where we got, and now, while we've got where we've got, what we do now. And actually, you want to pass that on because skills in sport transition into life, and you've got to have both. I was fortunate to go and speak to the boys, and there's one thing I would like to see out of them is more confidence, more kind of communication skills, more kind of bit of drive and determination, because what you are as a person has to translate to your sport. So if I get hold of them next time, I would definitely give them more of this work, and I would definitely love to see my guys interact with them more, because I think we could get a lot out of them.
I'm sure the guys did enjoy that interaction with you going into the audience with the microphone. Although I think one or two were a little bit stunned.
I think I might have embarrassed a couple of them, but I think that's all part of the journey. At the end of the day, they're there for a reason, because they've been identified. They've got a lot of talent. No one really knows where that talent's going to go exactly until the manager says, yeah, you are the guy that I want. So whilst that's happening, if they can learn a lot about who they are, they can take that into their lives further down the line.
And summing up for you, your assessment of the day and maybe taking it forward in the future.
Yeah, no, I think the day's gone really well. I think having the different companies there to give an insight for these boys in particular, and for all of our other athletes that are on our conference, the chance to kind of understand what's out there for them is great. I'd love to be able to work with LFE further, because I think that my charity could add a huge amount of value to those kids in terms of everything I've said, getting the most out of them to be the best person they can be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.